All right, we're about to journey into one of the most influential narratives ever told, the Book of Genesis. Now, this isn't just a collection of ancient stories. It's a foundational text that really sets the stage for so much that comes after. So let's just dive right in. The story kicks off with this absolutely monumental line. I mean, it's unforgettable. Right away, it establishes this cosmic scale, a single creative force, and a world that's about to be pulled from chaos into perfect order.
So this first act of the story, it's all about establishing a perfect world. It's a world of structure, a world of purpose, and really importantly, a world with one very clear rule.
What's so fascinating here is how methodical it all is. It's step by step. Day 1, boom, light. Day 2, the sky. Day 3, you get land and plants. It's this very rhythmic, very deliberate construction of a world, leading all the way up to mankind, and then finishing with a day of rest to cap it all off.
Then the focus kind of zooms in. We go from the entire cosmos to this one specific place, a perfect garden called Eden. And here, the first man, Adam, is put in charge of everything. He's got all he could ever want with just one single rule to follow.
And this is just a brilliant way to illustrate the core choice at the heart of the story. You have two trees. On one hand, the tree of life. Eat it, and you get to live forever. Simple enough. But on the other hand, you have the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, which comes with this incredibly stark warning. The choice seems obvious, right? But it perfectly captures that tension between simple obedience and the desire for something more.
And that, of course, brings us to the first massive turning point in this whole narrative. This is the moment that one simple rule gets broken and absolutely everything changes.
You see, the temptation, it's not really about a piece of fruit, is it? The serpent is offering something way more powerful. Knowledge, status, the chance to be like gods. It's a direct challenge to the way things are, questioning not just the rule itself, but the one who made it.
The consequences are immediate, and they are incredibly specific. Each party gets a curse. The serpent, the woman, the man, they all face a new, hard reality. And maybe the biggest consequence of all? They're kicked out of the garden, cut off from that tree of life, which means they are now going to die.
And that one act of disobedience, it doesn't just stop there. It's like a crack that starts to spread. In the very next generation, the first kids born outside the garden, we go from sibling rivalry straight to the first murder.
And Cain's response when God asks him where his brother is, it's just chilling. Am I my brother's keeper? That one question tells you everything about how broken things have become. It's this total rejection of responsibility, and it sounds an awful lot like his parents trying to shift the blame back in the garden.
So the narrative pulls back out again to a global scale. Humanity's brokenness just spreads and spreads until the whole world is filled with violence, which leads to this dramatic, catastrophic decision to hit the reset button.
I mean, the language the text uses here is incredibly strong. It says God regretted making man, that it grieved him to his heart. The idea is that the corruption has become so complete, so total, that the only solution left is to just wipe the slate clean and start over with the one family that's still doing things right.
And so the flood begins. For 40 days and 40 nights, non-stop rain. This number, 40, it's going to pop up again and again in later stories, and it almost always signifies this period of intense testing and massive change.
And get this, even after the 40 days of rain finally stop, the waters stick around, covering everything for 150 days. The scale here is just immense. This isn't some local flood, it's a complete undoing of creation. After the flood, we get a whole new kind of relationship being set up. It's called a covenant, which is basically a binding promise. And this first big covenant comes with a sign that anyone can see, the rainbow. It's a token, a reminder that God promises to never again destroy the world with water.
Okay, so after that global reset, the story shifts gears dramatically. It zooms in from the story of all humanity to the story of just one man and his family. And through them, a new, much more specific promise is going to be made.
So the narrative quickly traces this direct line, right, from Noah's son Shem down through all the generations until we land on this guy named Abram. He's the one who gets chosen. He's called to just pack up, leave his home, and head out into the unknown, all based on a promise.
And this is the promise. It's a huge deal, and it's got three main parts. Abram will become a great nation. He'll be given a land of his own, and this is the big one, through him, the entire world is going to be blessed. This promise is what drives the rest of the story.
But of course, there's a problem right away, a pretty big one. How do you become a great nation when your wife, Sarai, is barren? This question creates all this doubt and family drama. It leads to the birth of his first son, Ishmael, through Hagar, and then, miraculously, the birth of Isaac to Sarah when she's super old. And the result? It's a messy, fractured family with a bitter rivalry from the very beginning.
And that family conflict? Oh, it only gets deeper with the next generation. Now the rivalry is between Isaac's twin sons, and it all builds to this incredible moment of deception.
I mean, these two brothers could not be more different. You've got Esau, the rugged, hairy hunter, total dad's favorite. And then there's Jacob, the quiet, plain one who hangs out at home, a total mama's boy. This parental favoritism is basically a recipe for disaster.
So the first shoe drops when Esau comes back from hunting, totally famished, and he trades his entire birthright, his inheritance as the firstborn son, to Jacob for a bowl of stew. Seriously, in one weak moment, he basically says his inheritance is worthless. And Jacob, well, he pounces on the opportunity. But the birthright is only part of the prize. The real deal is the blessing from their father. And this is where Jacob, with his mom's help, disguises himself to trick his old blind father. You can feel the tension. Isaac is suspicious. He says, "The voice sounds like Jacob, but the hands feel like Esau." But the trick works, and he gives the blessing meant for his firstborn to his younger son instead.
And that leaves us right here, with this really critical question. That huge covenant promise, passed from Abraham to Isaac, has now been stolen by Jacob through pure trickery. So we're forced to ask, what happens now? Can a promise that was stolen still be fulfilled? And what's this going to cost Jacob and everyone who comes after him?